And let's get the new speaker. Okay, thank you so much. So we are doing Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 13, and we're going to start with text 43. Everybody has it?
Yep.
Okay. Text 43. Krishnere viyogajat prema cheshte aswadiya punakaila apana vanchit. Translation. In separation from Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished all these ecstatic activities and thus fulfilled his own desires. Let's do the purport and we'll explain what it means. Who wants to go first?
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Pataji, please.
Translation. In separation from Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu released all these ecstatic activities and thus he fulfilled his own desires. Purport. In the beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to taste the feelings Radharani felt upon seeing Krishna. Krishna himself could not understand the aesthetic feelings of Radharani towards him, and therefore he desired to accept the role of Radharani and thereby taste these feelings. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna with the feelings of Radharani. In other words, he is a combination of Radha and Krishna. It is therefore said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. By worshipping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alone, one therefore try to understand Radha Krishna not directly but through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and through his devotees. Srila Narottama Dasa Thakura therefore says, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibi Akuti Kabe Hame Vajhaba Si Yugala Priti. When shall I develop a mentality of service towards Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, and the other devotees of Lord Chaitanya, and thus become eligible to understand the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is a very important point being made here, that reminding us who is Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya is not an incarnation of Krishna. Rather is Krishna himself. And Krishna said to himself, I cannot understand what pleasure Radharani gets out of loving me. I cannot understand the quality of her love. And therefore, I cannot understand his feelings about me. What pleasure does she get out of seeing me, my sweetness? I cannot get that same pleasure. The example is given that a mango cannot taste its own sweetness. Somebody else has to do it. So similarly, Krishna says, I cannot taste my own sweetness. So therefore, for those three reasons, Krishna says, I'm going to have to appear, but taking the mood of Radharani. So that is Lord Chaitanya. Radha, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Lord Chaitanya is none other than Radha and Krishna combined. So that's one point. But second point is, we talk about being a devotee of Lord Krishna. We talk about devotee of being Radha and Krishna. And devotee means we understand everything about them and we serve them by understanding, because the more we understand them, their mood, their likes, their dislikes, their preferences, the better we can serve them. But What is the best way to understand Radha and Krishna, their relationship with each other, and what pleases them most? And the best way to do that is not to directly serve them, but to serve their combined form, which is Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is also considered the most merciful, most beneficent. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Padayate. He is most merciful in that he does not take offenses. So the best way to understand Radha and Krishna and their relationship together is to serve Lord Chaitanya. But there's one other thing. That's Lord Chaitanya and his devotees. So what do we say? We say the birth of devotees is in service of the devotee. Sorry, birth of bhakti, devotional service, is in the service of devotees. Narottam Das Thakur has sung a very beautiful bhajan called Sharanagati. And he says, Shuddha Bhakat Charana Renu Bhajan Anukul Bhakat Seva Param Siddhi Prem Latikar Mul. Serving the pure devotee is the root of devotional service. Or you can say it's the mother of devotional service. So therefore, serving the devotees becomes very important. So Lord Chaitanya, who is himself in the mood of a devotee, and his devotees. And then it's quoted here, Narottam Das Thakur says, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bhujibo Se Yugal Puriti. When will I develop the mentality to serve Rupa Raghunath and the other 6 Goswamis? Because only when I can serve them nicely, then I become eligible to understand the relationship and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. In other words, that's when I develop devotional service to their Lordship Radha and Krishna. So therefore, the service to Lord Chaitanya is very, very important. And service to his devotees is even more important. And that's the best path to attaining love of Radha and Krishna. Any questions or comments? Okay, we go to text 44 then. Ananta Chaitanya Lila Kshudra Jiva Hoya Kevarnite Pare Taha Vistar Kariya. Now this is Krishnadas Kaviraj being very humble. He says, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are unlimited. How much can a small living entity elaborate about those transcendental pastimes? So he's saying, I'm just a very small, insignificant living entity. How can I explain or describe those unlimited pastimes? But what was the power of Krishnadas Kaviraj? So I'm sorry. Yeah, Krishnadas Kaviraj. Anybody wants to give an answer? Where did the power to do this work come from for Krishnadas Kaviraj?
The blessings he got from the temple, I don't remember the name, when he
Radha
had
Madan
been,
Mohan Temple?
where he had been told to write by the pujari.
Correct. Actually, slight difference. The pujari gave him the garland that Radha Madan Mohan dropped from his neck. But he had the blessings of all the devotees in Vrindavan, especially the 6 Goswamis. They were saying, we bless you, you start this work. So that's where his power came from. And he got the approval or affirmation by Radha Madan Mohanji when they dropped their garland on his neck. Okay? So once again, it's the power of the blessings of the devotees. And that is why there's so much emphasis in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya to serve the devotees and not offend the devotees. Okay? Text 45. Sutta kari ganayadi apne anant sahastra badnete ho nahi pay ant. So it's trying to explain now how unlimited the glories and pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are. He says, if Sheshnag Anant personally were to make the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya into sutras, even with his thousands of mouths, there's no possibility that he could find their limit. Unlimited mouths, unlimited time, we say he still not be finished because the glories of the pastimes are unlimited. Lord Krishna says that I myself don't know the end of my glories and my qualities. So Krishna doesn't know, how can Anant Shesh know? And if he doesn't know, how can we know? But it's just so many. He's been doing it for trillions of years, not done yet. He'll never be done. Because the qualities of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya are always expanding. There's no end. Text 46. दामोदर स्वरूप और गुप्त मुरारी मुख्य मुख्य लीला सूत्र लिखिया छे बिचारी. Devotees like Sri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta have recorded all the principal pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in the form of notes after deliberate consideration. So who's Swarup Damodar? Anybody?
Is the incarnation of Vishakha.
Yeah, but in Chaitanya Lila, he's very intimate friend and devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And who's Murari Gupta?
And he is also a very close associate of
Lord Chaitanya.
Lord Chaitanya. Who wrote the pastimes in his diary.
Yes, and his previous life he was Hanuman.
Okay.
Okay. Text 47. सही अनुसारे लिखी लीला सूत्र गण विस्तारी बनिया छेन ताहा दास वृंदावन. The notes kept by Sri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta are the basis of this book. Following those notes, I write of all the pastimes of the Lord. The notes have been described elaborately by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Who's Vrindavan Das Thakur? What book did he write?
We forget.
Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Gita
Yes.
Govind.
Yes, Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Gita Govind is by Jayadev Goswami. So Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote it. And anyway, next verse will explain further. Text 48. Chaitanya Lilar Vyas Das Vrindavan Madhur Kariya Lila Karila Bachan. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur, the authorized writer of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is as good as Srila Vyasadeva. Who's Vyasadeva? What book did he write?
Bhagavatam.
Yes, along with all the other Puranas and all that, Mahabharata Purana, but he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Ved Vyas wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, and Vrindavan Das Thakur, Vrindavan Das Thakur is called Ved Vyas of Chaitanya Lila. So, Ved Vyas did Krishna Lila. Vrindavan Das Thakur is known as Ved Vyas of Chaitanya Lila. He's an incarnation of Ved Vyas. Are you with me? Everybody with me?
No, Prabhuji, can you say again?
Ved Vyas wrote Krishna Lila.
Okay.
Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Ved Vyas of Chaitanya Lila. He's an incarnation of Ved Vyas, but he wrote Chaitanya Lila in the form of the book Chaitanya Bhagavat. So he's saying as good as, well, his incarnation. Of course, he's as good as Vyasadeva. He has described the pastimes in such a way as to make them sweeter and sweeter. So, very true. If you read Chaitanya Bhagavat, it's amazing. So I would recommend to all of you to get a copy of Chaitanya Bhagavat and in your spare time read it. It's a wonderful book. Especially if you know Bengali, my God, it's so sweet. Text 49. ग्रंथ विस्तार भय छाड़िला जे स्थान सही स्थाने किछु करीब व्याख्यान. Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying, being afraid of his books, Krishnadas Kaviraj, Vrindavan Das Thakur, being afraid of his books becoming too voluminous, he left some places without vivid descriptions. I shall try to fill those places as far as possible. So he's saying that because Vrindavan Das was afraid of the book Chaitanya Bhagavat becoming too big, too voluminous, he did not describe in detail some pastimes. And some pastimes he left completely. For example, all the Jagannath Puri pastimes, post-sannyas pastimes. He left them completely. Vrindavan Das Thakur was also a very great devotee of Lord Nityananda. So he has kind of segued into Lord Nityananda's pastimes. And so therefore there's a lot of pastimes of Lord Chaitanya that he did not describe. So Krishna's Kaviraj is saying, I will describe only those pastimes that he did not describe. In other words, I will not try to do one better than him. That he describes something. I said, no, I can do this better and describe the same pastime. He said, no, I only describe what he did not describe. So that again, humility. Text 50. Prabhur Lila Mrte ho kail aswadan tar bhukt shesh kichu kariye charvan. The transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya have actually been relished by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I'm simply trying to chew the remnants of food left by him. How humble is that? I'm not trying to do one better than him. I'm simply taking his chewed food and trying to realize it. Because see, if you take anything, like take sugar cane, you chew on it, you get all the juice. Now, if you throw it away and somebody chews on that, they may get little taste, but not the same as you. So Krishna's Kaviraj saying, Vrindavan Thakur already relished everything. But whatever is left for me, I will do that. So whatever you chewed, I'll take that.
Hare Krishna.
I says, Prasadam. Radha Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Probably I was about to ask the question, what is the difference between Chaitanya Charitamrita, where does it stand when compared with Chaitanya Bhagavat? But I think these two shlokas have answered perfectly.
Yes. So they go together. So only when you read them both, then you get the whole picture. Text 51. Adi Lila Sutra likhi, Shuno Bhakta Gan, Sankshepe likhiye samyak, na jai likhan. Mighty devotees of Lord Chaitanya, let me now write a synopsis of the Adi Lila. I write of these pastimes in brief because it is not possible to describe them in full. So I'm saying, okay, I'll start describing now, but only synopsis, not in great detail. कौन वांछा पुराण लागी ब्रजेंद्र कुमार अवतीर्ण होते बने करेला विचार. To fulfill a particular desire within his mind. Lord Krishna, Brajendra Kumar. Who's Brajendra?
Krishna.
No.
Nanda.
Krishna is Brajendra Kumar, if you need a
Oh,
hint.
Nanda Baba.
Nanda Baba, yes. So he's Nanda Maharaj Brajendra, and Krishna is Brajendra Kumar. So it says Lord Krishna, Brajendra Kumar, decided to descend to this planet after mature contemplation. He didn't just show up. Thought about this. Mature contemplation means like a lot of thinking, a lot of analysis, and then appearing. So how long before Krishna's appearance on this in this material world? Or in this planet, I should say? What's the
5,000.
time period between his two appearances?
5,000 years ago.
No.
5,000 years ago.
No. What is the time period between his two appearances? Like he appeared 5,000 years ago. How long will he appear next time?
4,500. 4,500.
No, Krishna himself, not Lord Chaitanya. Krishna himself.
So one day of Brahma Prabhuji, he appeared,
Yes.
but then
Yes. So that's 8.6 billion years. So my point is that it's saying mature contemplation. So he really thought about this. He said, why do I want to appear? So let's talk about it. Why does Krishna appear? Krishna himself. So don't go Yadadai Dharma, because that's all about incarnations. Right? Paitana Sadhunam also, his holy name can do that. Nasha Dushkatam, there are many ways to do it. He doesn't appear to do all that. So why does Krishna himself appear?
For his devotees.
For his devotees, exactly. To enjoy, to relish the company of his devotees and his interactions with the devotees. And obviously, we're talking about pure devotees like the gopis, like Radharani, and so on. Okay, there's no other reason. Another reason given is that to show mercy upon us, but he can do that with any incarnation. But there was one other thing. He said, I want to establish in the mind of people what is Braj Bhav about. How pure is the love of the devotees of Brajdham, Vrindavan. He came, established, and went away. And then he said, wait a minute. I told them what it is, but I did not tell them how to practice it. And Prabhupada said it's like the mother takes the hand of her son and shows him or teaches him how to write A, B, C. So shall come as Lord Chaitanya and show everybody how to serve Krishna in the mood of Braja. So that's another reason for Lord Chaitanya's appearance, or Krishna's appearance as Lord Chaitanya. He's showing us how to serve Krishna in the mood of the gopis in Braj Bhav. Okay, is that clear?
Yep.
Okay. Text 53. आगे अवतारेला जे जे गुरु परिवार संक्षेपे कहिए कहा न जाए विस्तार. Lord Krishna therefore first allowed his family of superiors to descend to earth. I shall try to describe them in brief because it is not possible to describe them fully. So now he's saying, well, he instructed his elders to appear first. Parents, uncle, aunties, and all those kind of things. You appear first because I cannot appear without you or before you. So next verse says, So Krishna, as Lord Chaitanya, is thinking like this. Krishna did the same thing. So who appeared before Krishna appeared in Krishna Lila? Just give me some names. In Krishna Lila, who were instructed to appear before him?
Lord Balram.
Lord
Balaram is one. You should be able to rhyme off a million names.
Yeah, Nand Baba, Yashoda Maya.
Yeah, exactly.
Vasudev ji. Yeah.
Devaki, all of them, right?
Yeah.
Akrura, all these people showed up,
Yeah, uncle.
right? Even some demons like Kansa, and then of course not so much demons, Ugrasen, Devak, and all those people, they all showed up. So now it's saying same thing Lord Chaitanya did. So who appeared before Lord Chaitanya? Text 54, 55.
Sachi Mata,
Yeah, sorry.
Jagannath Mitra.
That's this verse here, 54 to 55. Shri Sachi Jagannath, Shri Madhava Puri, Keshava Bharati, or Shri Ishwar Puri, Advait Acharya or Pandit Shri Vas, Acharya Ratna Vidya Nidhi Thakur Haridas. So how many people saying, look at this, Shri Sachi Mata. Okay, so Lord Krishna appearing as Lord Chaitanya requested these devotees precede him. Sachi Devi. Who's that?
Mother of Chaitanya
Mother.
Mahaprabhu.
Jagannath Mishra. Who's that?
Father of
Madhavendra
Chaitanya
Puri.
Mahaprabhu.
Who's that?
He is the first, like the main devotional rule.
No,
Not the
in
coming
relation to
day.
Lord Chaitanya.
Spiritual master of his spiritual master.
Correct. It's called
What
Param Guru.
means?
Yes. Keshav Bharati. Who's that?
The second, the Diksha Guru of the one who gave sannyas, sorry. to
Sannyas Guru.
Mahaprabhu.
It's called Sannyas Guru.
Guru.
Yes. Ishwar Puri. Who's that?
Spiritual master.
Yes. Advait Acharya. Who's that?
Associate.
Hmm?
His uncle as well as the
Not uncle. No, he's not uncle. A spiritual uncle.
spiritual uncle. Okay.
Yes. Okay. What else? What else is Advait Acharya famous for?
He was the one who called out.
Yes. And in Tattva, who is he?
Sadashiv.
Advait Acharya.
Sorry, say again. Yogeshwar Prabhu?
Sadashiv.
Mahavishnu.
Sadashiv and
Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu. Correct. Combined form of Sadashiv and Mahavishnu. Srivas Pandit, who's that?
Srivas Pandit is a devotee principal.
One of the Panchatattvas.
It's a
Nardmoni Prabhuji.
Narad Muni,
He is
correct.
one of the Panchatattvas.
Correct. Yes. Acharya Ratna, who's that?
Is that Haridas Thakur?
No. That comes later. Thakur Haridas, last one. So Acharya Ratna, his full name is Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhar. So he was the husband of Sachi Mata's sister. So Chaityanya's Mausaji. And he lived very close to the house of Jagannath Mishra, his father, and they were very good friends. And he was also very supportive. So, even when Jagannath Mishra was alive, he would go and help them in any ways. And after he left his body, then he became, really close to the family and provided financial support also and any other support that an elder provides. There were many, many pastimes that Lord Chaitanya did where Acharya Chandrasekhar would be present. So, for example, when Lord Chaitanya came back from Gaya, what happened in Gaya? Anybody knows?
It is the rituals for his parents, Prabhuji. Father,
Something more
father.
important than that. Something very important in the life of Lord Chaitanya.
Initiation, second
Initiation, exactly. He got initiated by Ishwar Puri in Gaya. So when he came back, he started to exhibit his devotional side. And then one day he said, everybody get together in the house of Chandrasekhar. So all the devotees got together there and they had the first Sankirtan. And then it was, happening mostly with Shivasa's house, but sometimes in Chandrasekhar's house also. And actually one time, Lord Chaitanya said, everybody get together in the house of Chandrasekhar and I will do some pastimes. And he said that I'm going to show my Lakshmi form. So only those people who have no material desires, who are pure, only they should come. So all the devotees, including Advait Acharya and Shivas Pandit, they all said, well, we can't come then, we're not pure. So that's why they started laughing and said, well, come, I know you're pure, so come in. So anyway, so there they did a play where Lord Chaitanya played the role of Lakshmi, and then Advait Acharya became a clown, and Gadadhar Pandit became a gopi. So I mean, everybody had different dresses, and Chandrasekhar Acharya was responsible. Sorry, Buddhimant Khan was responsible for bringing dresses for all these places. They had a great play, and it lasted 7 days and 7 nights in the house of Chandrasekhar. And then at the end of it, Lord Chaitanya said, I'm going to take the Mahalakshmi form. So to the Mahalakshmi form, and then he asked all the devotees to come and he breastfed them. So he gave his own milk to all these devotees. So that's how important Chandrasekhar is. Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhar. And Vidyanidhi, who's Vidyanidhi? He's Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who became the spiritual master of Gadadhar Pandit.
Vrishabhanu, Prabhu?
Sorry?
Vrishabhanu?
No,
Well, in the previous life, yes, but in this life, he was a king, but a pure devotee. And one time, Gadadhar Pandit, in his mind, offended him. So then the solution given by Lord Chaitanya was we go become his disciple. So Gadadhar Pandit accepted him as his spiritual master. So that's Pundarik Vidyanidhi. And the Thakur Haridas, we all know, Namacharya Haridas Thakur. So all these people were invited to appear before Lord Chaitanya came. Any questions on that?
Prabhuji, your pastimes, the one that you mentioned, Mahalakshmi, it is in Chaitanya Mangal or
Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Chaitanya Bhagavat?
Yes. Okay. Yes, in quite a bit of detail.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Text 56. Shri Hatta Nivasi Shri Upendra Mishra Naam Vaishnava Pandita Dhani Sadguru Pradhan. There was also Shri Upendra Mishra, a resident of the district of Shri Hatta. He was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, a learned scholar, a rich man, and a reservoir of all good qualities. So does anybody know who Upendra Mishra was? Okay, then we'll do the purport. Purport tells you. Somebody read the purport, please.
Can I read it?
Go ahead, yeah.
Purport. Upendra Mishra is described in the Gaur Ganodesha Deepika 35 as the Gopal, named Prajanna. The same personality who was formerly the grandfather of Lord Krishna appeared as Upendra Mishra at Shrihatta and begot 7 sons. He was a resident of Dhaka Dakshina Grama in the district of Shrihat. There are still many residents of that part of the country who introduce themselves as belonging to the Mishra family of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So everybody knows the name of the father of Lord Krishna is Nanda Maharaj. But what was the name of the father of Nanda Maharaj? We just read it in the purport. So now tell me, what is the name?
Upendra Mishra.
No, Lord Krishna. Talk about Lord Krishna. So if you read the first line again, so Upendra Mishra is the
Gopal.
Gopal and Parjanya. So Parjanya was the name of the father of Nanda Maharaj. And Upendra Mishra, as we'll see, was the name of the father of. Well, Mishra is there, so that should be a clue. So if they're talking about Parjanya being the grandfather of Krishna,
Jagannath
who
Mishra.
would Upendra Mishra be? To Lord Chaitanya, grandfather. So Upendra Mishra, the grandfather. So his son's name is?
Jagannath Mishra.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. So again, next two verses will tell you that. Sapta Mishra Taraputra, Sapta Rishishwar, Kansari Paramanand Padmanabh Sarveshwar, Jagannath Janardhan, Trailokyanath, Nadiyate Gangavas, Kail Jagannath. Upendra Mishra had 7 sons who were saintly and most influential. Kansari, Paramanand, Padmanabh, Sarveshwar, Jagannath, Janardhan, and Trailokyanath. Jagannath Mishra, the 5th son, decided to reside on the bank of the Ganges at Nadia. So he moved. So Upendra Mishra is the father of Jagannath Mishra, who is the father of Lord Chaitanya. So Upendra Mishra is the grandfather, just like Parjanya was the grandfather of Lord Krishna. Okay. Text 59. Jagannath Mishwar Padvi Purandar Nanda Vasudev Rup Sadguna Sagar. Jagannath Mishra was designated as Purandar. That's a title or designation. Exactly like Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, he was an ocean of all good qualities. So, I was eternal father, right? So, of course, he'll have all the same qualities of Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj, who are also the eternal father of Krishna, right? Text 60. Tar Patni Shachi Naam Pativrata Sati, Jar Pita Nilambar Naam Chakravarti. His wife, Jagannath Mishra's wife, Srimati Sachi Devi, was a chaste woman, highly devoted to her husband. Sachi Devi's father's name was Nilambar, and his surname was Chakravarti. Nilambar Chakravarti was the father. What does it make him for Lord Chaitanya? Nanaji. Nilambar Chakravarti is Nanaji of Lord Chaitanya. So let's read the purport. Any volunteers?
Can I read to
Of course you can.
Shri Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur? Hello?
Go ahead.
Shri Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya in the Gaur Gaundisha Deepika 104. It is mentioned that Nilambar Chakravarti was formerly Garg Muni. Some of the family descendant of Nilambar Chakravarti still live in the village of the name Magdoba in the district of Faridpur in Bangladesh. His nephew was Jagannath Chakravarti, also known as Manu Thakur, who became a disciple of Pandit Goswami and stayed at Jagannath Puri as the priest of Tota Gopinath. Nilambar Chakravarti lived at Navdeep in the neighborhood of Belapuriya. This fact is mentioned in the book Prem Vilas because he lived near the house of a Qazi. The Qazi was also considered one of the maternal uncle of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Qazi used to address Nilambar Chakravarti as Kaka or uncle. One cannot separate the residence of the Kapi from Vimanapuram. because the tomb of the Qazi is still existing there. Formerly, the place was known as Belapukoparia, and now it is called Vamanapura. This has been ascertained by archaeological evidence.
Thank you. So this is very important information here. So who's Gargamuni?
Gargamuni was in the Krishna Lila who gave the name.
Right, but who was he?
He was a priest.
He was a family guru of Yadu dynasty.
Family guru, yeah.
Yeah, so of Yadu dynasty. So he was sent by Vasudeva to do the Namkaran Sanskar of Krishna and Balaram.
Correct.
So it says here that Nilamba Chakravarti was an incarnation of Gargamuni, or Gargamuni appeared as Nilamba Chakravarti. So that's one point. Then in the previous chapters, we read about a person by the name of Jagannath Chakravarti, who was the nephew of Nilamba Chakravarti, and that made him brother of Shachimata. Right? So he's a cousin of Shachimata. So cousin of the mother is known as Mama. In Bengali is Mamu. Right? So Jagannath Chakravarti's name was also Mamu Thakur, because of Lord Chaitanya's Mama. And then he became a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit. We discussed all this in the previous chapter. And then he served as a priest of Tota Gopinath temple. Everybody knows about Tota Gopinath?
It is just beside the Jagannath Puri temple.
Yes. But what's the unique thing about Tota Gopinath?
I think I recall, Prabhuji, you had mentioned that as one of the priests, maybe Nilambar Chakravarti or Mamu Thakur actually had asked the deity to come down, and the deity did come down, and there are some cracks in the knees of the deity even to this date.
Yes, Mother, you have very good memory, but the priest was Gadadhar Pandit.
Okay.
But your story is correct. So that's who Tota Gopinath is. That's why it's so famous. And the other thing is that Lord Chaitanya used to go there every day to hear Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit in that temple. And also, Lord Chaitanya ended his pastimes by entering in the deity of Tota Gopinath.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very important deities. So my request is, if you ever go to Jagannath Puri, make sure you visit this temple. Anyway, so that's that. And then the story of Kazi. Everybody knows the story of Kazi? Chaitanya Lila?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Chand Kazi, right, Prabhu?
Chand Kazi, yes.
Chand Kaji.
So if you remember, when Lord Chaitanya got angry and he got 100,000 plus people to show up at the house of Kazi, he got scared. He actually ran and hid in a room. And Lord Chaitanya very nicely invited him out. And then Kazi was saying that, don't get mad. You and I are related. I'm your mama. And I said, how? And he said, I was a neighbor of your Mamu Thakur, and therefore I'm your mama also. And I used to call you Nanaji Kaka. Kaka means uncle. So therefore I'm related to you, so therefore be nice to me. You're so scared. So that's the story and the reference to Kazi in this purport. Okay. Anything else? Any questions on this? Okay.
Prabhuji, Nilambar Chakravarti was a big astrologer too. What I read here.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, he's the one who
He predicted that this child is going to be a big personality.
correct, and he gave the name Vishwambar, that he'll provide the maintenance of all the world. The one who maintains the whole world is Vishwambar. Okay, thank you. Text 61. Radheshe Janmila Thakur Nityanand Gangadas Pandit Gupta Murari Mukund. So still talking about people who appeared before Lord Chaitanya. In Radhadesh, the part of Bengal where the Ganges is not visible, Nityanand Prabhu, Gangadas Pandit, Murari Gupta, and Mukunda took birth. So no use getting into the purport, it's very long, but I'll give the summary. So Nityanand Prabhu, we all know, He appeared there. What was the name of his parents? Nityananda Prabhu's parents. Harai Pandit and Padmavati. And they raised him very nicely. And then Gangadas Pandit, who's Gangadas Pandit?
Teacher.
I'm sorry?
He's the teacher of.
Actually, that's a different Gangadas.
Oh, okay.
So this Gangadas is brother of Suryadas, whose two daughters, Vasudha and Jahnava, married Lord Nityananda. Okay? And then Murari Gupta, we talked about him. And Mukunda. Who's Mukunda? Another very, very close associate of Lord Chaitanya. Why is he famous? Anybody remembers?
We can't think of the prominent singer, Prabhuji. Very important singer. He used to sing very sweet bhajans.
Yes, but there's a pastime that made him even more famous.
He was associating with some.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. You're right. Go ahead.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that he condemned him from his association, and then he asked when he will get his darshan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said after some 1 million words.
1 million bus, yes.
And then he Mukunda Datta started jumping that at least I will get after 1 million words. And then immediately Mahaprabhu gave him darshan.
That's right. That's right. That's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, he said, "Oh, my Lord has guaranteed me a visit." And he became ecstatic. So Lord Chaitanya said, "I'll bring him in." Thank you so much. Okay, text 62. Asankhya bhaktere karaila avatar sheshe avatirna hoila Brijendra Kumar. Lord Krishna, Brijendra Kumar, first caused countless devotees to appear, and at last he appeared himself. So after having all these countless devotees to appear, to basically set the stage, because he has his pastimes to do and he needs people for his pastimes. So he gets all the qualified people to appear before him, and then of course there will be some appearing after him or with him, so he can do his pastimes. Text 63. Prabhur avirbhav purve jat Vaishnava gan Advait Acharya sthane karena gaman. Before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees of Navadvip used to gather in the house of Advait Acharya. So now this is talking about before Lord Chaitanya appeared. So they used to be gathering, East Goshti or Bhakti Viksha program in the house of Advait Acharya. 64. Gita Bhagavata kahe Acharya Gosai, Jnana Karma Nindi kare, Bhakti re badhai. In these meetings of the Vaishnavas, Advait Acharya used to recite the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, decrying the paths of philosophical speculation and fruitive activity, and establishing the super excellence of devotional service. So everybody knows the different definition of pure devotional service by Rupa Goswami. Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavratam. Right? Anukulyan Krishnanushilinam bhakti uttama. Goswami says that devotional service which is devoid of any material desires, which is devoid of any mental speculation, and which is devoid of any fruitive activities. So karma gyan, karma yoga, gyan yoga, sakharam. Only then, when you serve Krishna favorably, then it's called pure devotional service. Favorably is important because one of the processes of devotional service is smaranam. Who's known for smaranam? Which devotee?
Every time.
Prahlad Maharaj.
I'm sorry?
Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhuji.
Prahlad Maharaj, exactly. So Prahlad was remembered all the time. But Kansa also remembered him all the time. Every moment of his life, He remembered Krishna. He saw Krishna in the curtain, the lamp, in the bed, everywhere he saw Krishna. But he's not called a devotee. So what's the difference between Prahlad Maharaj and Kansa?
Kansa was doing in fear, and Prahlad Maharaj was doing in devotion.
That's one reason. There's a little stronger reason than that.
Probably the shloka that you mentioned, Anukul, it was
Well,
not.
exactly. Favorable mood. So Prahlad Maharaj's mood is favorable in that I want to worship you. Kansa's mood was I want to kill you. Let me find you so I can kill you.
Yep.
Prahlad was saying, let me find you so I can hold your lotus feet. Right? So that's the difference. Anukulyan is very important. Okay. So my point was that Advait Acharya was establishing the superiority of devotional service over karma kand, gyan kand, etc. Okay. 65. Sarvashastra kahe Krishna bhaktir vyakhyan jnana yoga tapodharma nahi mane an. In all the revealed scriptures of Vedic culture, devotional service to Lord Krishna is explained throughout. Therefore, devotees of Lord Krishna do not recognize the processes of philosophical speculation, mystic yoga, unnecessary austerity, and the so-called religious rituals. They do not accept any process but devotional service. Let's read that purport and I'll explain a little bit more about this.
Can I read it, Prabhuji?
One of you can, yes.
Okay. Our Krishna consciousness movement follows this principle. We do not recognize any method of spiritual realization other than Krishna consciousness, devotional service. Sometimes we are criticized by groups following Jnana, Yoga, Tapa, or Dharma, but unfortunately we are unable to make any compromises with them. We simply stand on the platform of devotional service and preach the same principles all over the world.
Right. So basically, there are people who are jnanis. What do jnanis do? Jnana yoga.
They're just preaching with their speculation, Prabhuji, are preaching, could be preaching from the Shastras, but they don't follow any principles.
No, they do follow principles. It's not that they don't, but there's a difference.
Knowledge seekers.
They're knowledge seekers, yes, one. What else?
Jnanas want to merge into the affiliation.
Liberated from
I'm sorry, one person
suffering
at a time,
in this
please.
material world.
Sorry, say it again, please.
Jnanis,
They just want to get out of this material world because of the sufferings.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's also true. Yeah. Madhu Mataji?
Jnanis just want to merge into the affiliations.
Because they want to get out of the material world, as Mani was saying.
They say that
But what else? There's something even more than
Would
that.
be Karam Khan, Prabhuji, they're teaching us Karam Khan.
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Basically, they are not doing any devotional service. So they are not, the Krishna Prem, the objective, they are not following that.
That's also true because they don't believe in the form, so there's no love. But there's a reason why they're called mental speculators. So what does that mean?
So Gyanis, they try to understand or reach to God, but the aim is to put themselves at the center and get the knowledge about God. So it's not, I don't know if I'm putting it right.
You're very close.
Prabhuji, I think I got it. They try to understand Krishna through arguments and knowledge, not by practice.
Yes, yes.
So Manan, Prabhuji, Manan is one thing, Muni. So when they are meditating again,
So
thinking.
not all munis are jnanis, but you're right. Some munis are jnanis. So basically, instead of taking what's written in the scriptures and accepting it, they want to do their own thought process. They want to do their own speculation. And therefore, they start with a premise or an assumption. They analyze and analyze and analyze and analyze. They reach the conclusion, no, this is not right. So they said neti. This is not it. Then they start with different assumption or premise. And they analyze, and they say, no, that's not it either, neti. So they basically end up their whole life saying neti, neti. It's not it, it's not it, it's not it. All mental speculation.
Yes.
Okay? So that's Gyanis. Then the yogis, who are the yogis?
Those who are busy in meditation, just they try to look Paramatma inside.
Yes, so
That's
they're
it.
meditating upon the Paramatma future. Where do they end up? Does anybody know? Like, if they achieve perfection, where will they go?
Brahmajyoti, Prabhuji.
Brahmajyoti, exactly right.
Yes.
So Jnanis and the yogis both end up in Brahmajyoti. Okay, tapasvis, who are they?
They are doing austerities, Prabhuji.
Yes, they're doing austerities. Or dharma, what's the dharma they're talking about?
Dharmis are those who perform their duties according to the scriptures.
Yes, that's correct. But they basically emphasize rituals more than anything else,
Okay.
right? So all these people, they don't talk about developing love of Krishna. So
Exactly.
actually, I was reading an article today, actually, and it said in Satyug, life was great. Everybody, almost everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody was pious person. There were no thefts, there was no dacoits and all that. Um, and people performed austerities for 50,000 years. They had long life. But somehow, what we do in Kali Yuga is better. Kali Yuga is considered better, actually, in a way, than Satyuga. So, what is the reason? And they said the reason is that there are no disturbances in Satyuga. I mean, I'm talking about, forget the exceptions. The Hiranyakashipu was in Satyuga, the Hiranyaksha was Satyuga. The exceptions, demons. But generally speaking, life was very peaceful. You did whatever you did, and there was clear, um, clear demarcation of the varnas and the ashrams, and people did their thing. As a result, there was not much misery other than birth, old age, and disease. Not much misery. Nobody got robbed, nobody lost investments, and nobody got, a victim of a scam, and all those kind of things were not happening. So life was fine. And therefore, you basically said, let me get the salvation, let me get the moksha, and that's what people worked for. But nobody talked about love for Krishna. If you look at any personality in Satyuga, right, except for exceptions like Prahlad Maharaj and all that, nobody talked about love of Krishna. In Kali Yuga, most people don't talk about love of Krishna. But there's some people who become so desperate because of all the miseries and all the politics and other nonsense that goes on in the age of Kali, they become totally disgusted with their life and they realize they cannot do anything about it. So they become totally helpless. So in that helpless condition, they remember Krishna or they serve Krishna, then they develop love of Krishna because they realize there's no other shelter, there's nobody else. Mere to Giridhar Gopal, dusro na koi. Then they develop that love. So therefore, in some ways, Kali Yuga is considered better. Now, there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 12th canto, I think it is. It says, Kaler dosh nidhe rajan, asti hi eko mahan guna. Kirti nadeva krishnasya, mukta sangas parambhaya. It says, Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. Like, you can't even imagine how many faults are in Kali Yuga, the age of hypocrisy and quarrel. But it has got one great quality, mahan guna, great quality. What is this? Kritinadeva Krishna said. Simply chanting the holy name of Krishna gets you that love of Krishna. So even the demigods pray to become a human being on earth in the age of Kali. So they can actually develop that love of Krishna because they're devotees, but they're not pure devotees. They're too busy enjoying their life. So again, they're basically saying, if I have those miseries, then maybe I'll become desperate enough to really want Krishna. So when the cry comes from the heart, then Krishna listens. Okay. So is that making sense? Does that make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Besides that, Prabhuji, we also get inspiration from the other devotees, Prabhuji.
Yes, we do. We do. Okay, 66. तार संगे आनंद करे वैष्णवेर गण Krishna Katha, Krishna Puja, Nam Sankirtan. In the house of Advait Acharya, all the Vaishnavas took pleasure in always talking of Krishna, always worshipping Krishna, and always chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what are they doing? They're hearing, they're chanting, the worship is Archana, and therefore they're remembering. So all those processes are going on in the house of Advait Acharya. There's no Lord Chaitanya yet. So they're still talking about Krishna. Okay?
So, Prabhuji, one question. So, Mahamantra was there before even the appearance of Lord Chaitanya.
Well, it is eternal, but it was not spread on earth. So this comes from Golok Vrindavan. So it's always there, eternal. And Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna was here 5,000 years ago. They also chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra during Ras Lila. But it went away with Krishna. So nobody knew that mantra until Lord Chaitanya. No, I shouldn't say that. Very few people know that because it's also in the Kalisantaran Upanishad. So it's there, but very few people knew about it. It was not considered great or important, I mean. Lord Chaitanya is the one who explained the importance of this, who popularized Mahamantra. Okay?
So we have to be very fortunate, Prabhuji, that way.
We are. There's no limit to our fortune. Text 67. Kintu sarva lok dekhi Krishna bahir mukh Vishay nimagna lok dekhi paye dukh. But Shri Advait Acharya Prabhu felt pained excuse me, to see all the people without Krishna consciousness, simply merging in material sense enjoyment. So let's read the purport.
May I read, Prabhuji?
Please go ahead, Mataji.
A bona fide devotee of Lord Krishna is always pained to see the fallen condition of the whole world. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say there is no scarcity of anything within this world. The only scarcity is of Krishna consciousness. That is the vision of all pure devotees. Because of this lack of Krishna consciousness in human society, people are suffering terribly, being merged in an ocean of needs and sense gratification. A devotee onlooker is very much aggrieved to see such a situation in the world.
Thank you. So there's a bhajan, जैसे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए पीर पराई जाने रे. Have you heard that?
Yes.
So it
Prabhuji.
says the Vaishnava is one who understands and feels the pain of other people. But the pain, I'm not talking about broken hand and headache. I'm not talking about that. It's pain from being in this material world. The Janmriti Jara Vyadhi, those kind of things, and the other three miseries, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmik. They see those pains, the suffering, and they feel the pain. So in that suffering, feeling the suffering, they want to do something to these people, for these people. And that is why they preach. So these people can come out of the miserable world and go back home, back to God. So similarly, Advait Acharya, being a pure devotee, he felt that all these people who are not into Krishna consciousness are going to be eternally in material miseries. And they are so much to sense gratification that they're ensuring their stay in the material world. Right? You keep doing all the sense gratification activities, you keep accumulating karmas, and therefore you stay in the material world. And it was so bad at that time that people had this one-upmanship game playing. So if somebody had a daughter or a son, they'll marry them and spend a lot of money. So neighbors will say, oh my God, they are so rich. And the next one spent even more than the previous one because, hey, I'm richer than him. And so on it went on. Some people didn't have children. So how do they show their money? So they'll have dog or a cat, they get them married and spend the same amount of money in marrying their dog or cat and other people for the children. So they can say, oh yeah, I'm even richer than these people. The point is that there's so much nonsense going on in the name of sense gratification. There's no Krishna consciousness. So Advait Acharya felt so much pain from that. He said, I have to do something. I have to do something to get these people out of this eternal misery that they're going to suffer. So what did he do? 68. लोकेर निस्तार हेतु करेन चिंतन के मते ए सब लोकेर होई बेतारन. Seeing the condition of the world, he began to think seriously of how all these people could be delivered from the clutches of Maya. So how do we get them out of Maya and back to Godhead? 69. Krishna avatari karen bhaktir vistar tabe to sakala loker hoi be nistar. So this thought process of Advait Acharya. Srila Advait Acharya thought, if Krishna himself appears in order to distribute the cult of devotional service, then only will liberation be possible for all people. Saying it is so bad. It's so bad that Krishna himself needs to appear. It won't do, just another incarnation will not do. No powerful king will do. Krishna himself has to come. And he has to distribute devotional service. Then only the liberation will be possible. So let's read the purport and I'll explain further. Any?
Okay, I can read.
Please, oh, go ahead, Prabhu. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Just as a condemned person can be relieved by a special favor of the chief executive head, the president or king, so the condemned people of this Kali Yuga can be delivered only by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself or a person specially empowered for this purpose. Srila Advait Acharya Prabhu desired that the Supreme Personality of Godhead advent himself to deliver the fallen souls of this age.
Right. Advait Acharya said the problem is so bad that nobody can do it except Lord Krishna himself or a specially empowered person by him. So then what did he do? Text 70. Krishna avatarite acharya pratigya kariya, Krishna puja kare tulsi ganga jal diya. With this consideration, Advait Acharya Prabhu, promising to cause Lord Krishna to descend, began to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges. So, okay, so read the purport and I'll explain.
Hare Prabhu.
Please go ahead, Vishwamurti Prabhu.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Tulsi leaves and Ganges water with, if possible, a little pulp of sandalwood is sufficient paraphernalia to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tad Aham Bhakti Upahartam Asnami Prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. Following this principle, Advaita Prabhu pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, what did he do? He said a very simple process. He simply offered tulsi with Ganges water on a Shaligram Shila. Then Shaligram Shila is non-different from Krishna. Krishna will appear. So actually I've seen the Shaligram Shila that Advait Acharya used to bathe. And he used to chant a mantra. It says, Tulsi dal matrena jalasachulkenva vikriritam swayamyo. It says that if somebody with love offers tulsi leaf with Ganges water, then Krishna sells himself to that person. Bhakta Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna is such a Bhakta Vatsal, a lover of devotees, that he appeared. So this is what Advait Acharya was doing, was chanting that mantra from Gautamiya Tantra and offering Ganges water with tulsi leaf to the Shaligram Shila. And just by doing that, he was able to invite Lord Krishna to appear as Lord Chaitanya. Text 71. Krishner ahvan kare saghan hunkare akrishta hoila Vijendra Kumar. Wow. By loud cries, he invited Krishna to appear. And this repeated invitation attracted Lord Krishna to descend. So he would actually go very loud and then chant this mantra and offer the water. And that sound went all the way to Golok Vrindavan Dham. Krishna heard it and he said, okay, I'm coming. Text 72. Jagannath Mishra Patni Sachir Udare Ashtakanya Krame Hail Janmi Janmi Mare. Before the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 8 daughters took birth one after another from the womb of Sachimata, the wife of Jagannath Mishra. But just after their birth, they all died. So Krishna had 6 brothers die. Lord Chaitanya had 8 sisters die. 73. Apatya virahe mishre dukhi hai man, putra lage aradhil Vishnu charan. Jagannath Mishra was very unhappy at the death of his children, one after another. Therefore, desiring a son, he worshipped the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So, the point to be made here is that it's very important to have what's known as Garbhadhan Sanskar, which is where you worship the Lord, for giving birth to a son who would be a devotee and good qualities. So that is what Jagannath Mishra did. 74. Tabe putra janmela Vishwarup naam mahagunu vante ho Baladev dham. Translation. After this, Jagannath Mishra got a son of the name Vishwarupa, who was most powerful and highly qualified because he was an incarnation of Baladev. So let's the purport to explain more. Any volunteers?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Vishwarupa was the elder brother of Gaurahari, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When arrangements were being made for the marriage of Vishwarupa, he took sannyas and left home. He took the sannyas name of Shankararanya. In 1431 Skabda era, he disappeared in Pandarpura, in the district of Sholapur. As an incarnation of Sankarsana, he is both the ingredient and immediate cause of the creation of this material world. He is non-different from Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for the Ansha and the Anshi, or the part and the whole, are not different. As an incarnation of Sankarsana, Vishwarupa belongs to the quadruple manifestation of Chaturbhuju. In the Gaur Chandrodaya, it is said that Vishwarupa, after his so-called demise, remained mixed within Sri Nityananda Prabhu.
Yeah. So this is very important. So Vishwarupa was the older brother, and he was very, very detached right from childhood. And he used to get a lot of association from, anybody knows? Advait Acharya.
Advait Acharya.
So when Vishwarupa left home, as his marriage was being arranged, he left home. Mother Sachi was very upset. She blamed Advait Acharya for making her son so detached. So she actually said to herself, not to anybody, to herself, she said, this is not Advait, this is Dvait. We're separating my family into two. So actually, and she just thought about this. But we have to know the difference between sin and offense. In the age of Kali, a sin has to be performed before it becomes effective, or before you have to accept the results. And basically, sin is defined as any activity in contravention or contradiction of Vedic injunctions. So Veda says don't do it and you do it, it becomes sin. So don't steal, don't kill, all those kind of things. But you have to actually do it to suffer the result in the age of Kali. On the other hand, any pious activity, even if you just think about it, it becomes effective, you get the result. So in your mind, if you say, I'm going to give $100,000 to this person because he doesn't have money, that's enough to get the results of actually giving $100,000. You say, I want to donate 1,000 cows to these Brahmins. You get the result of doing that, even though you did not actually donate. So that's a very special quality of Kali. But offenses, even if done in the mind, they become effective. So first, the Sanskrit word is aparad. And aparad basically means something that keeps you away from worship of Krishna. That's the literal meaning of aparad. Rad for aradhana, up for keeping you away from. So aparad is something that keeps you away from. And that's why we have Nam aparad, we have Vaishnava aparad, we have Seva aparad, we have Dham aparad. All those aparads keep you away from service of Krishna, devotional service. As a matter of fact, Lord Chaitanya talks about the Matta Hathi, which is a Vaishnava aparad. It's like a mad elephant coming and ruining your garden. Where your devotional creeper is there, it totally destroys it. So aparads actually are more serious than sins. Okay, so anyway, so Mother Shachi, only in her mind, thought ill of Advait Acharya, became aparad. So later on, after Lord Chaitanya took sannyas, he was giving darshan to everybody in the house of Advait Acharya. And he said, no, my mother cannot take darshan. So everybody was shocked. She's your mother. What do you mean she cannot take darshan of Advait Acharya? Or your darshan? And then he told the story. She's an offender to a pure devotee, Advait Acharya. So people said, well, okay, then what does she need to do? And she said she needs to take the dust of the lotus feet of Advait Acharya, then only she'll be forgiven. So she became ready immediately. But Advait Acharya said, what are you talking about? She's my mother too. That cannot happen. And in ecstasy of saying that, he fainted. When he fainted, Shachi Mata came, took the dust from her lotus feet, and then Krishna said, okay, now I can take my darshan. So my point is that aparad is very serious, and sometimes we don't take it so seriously. We do aparad all the time, especially Nam aparad, offenses against the holy name, and Vaishnava aparad, criticizing the devotees, which is part of Nam aparad. So we have to be very careful. Anyway, so he left, and then they're describing who he was. So he was basically an incarnation of Sankarshan. So who's Sankarshan?
Balram Prabhuji,
How?
expansion of Balram is Shankarshan.
Okay, I need a little bit more. You're right, nothing wrong with what you said, but I need a little bit more. For this group, you need a little bit more. So Balram's expansion is known as quadruple expansion. Chaturvyu. Who are the Chaturvyu?
Yeah, Anirudh, Pradyumna,
Sorry?
Sankarshan. Anirudh, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, Vasudeva.
And
And Vasudev.
And Vasudeva, right? So those are four. That's the first quadruple expansion.
Yes.
Then the Sankarshan in that expands into Narayan, who expands into second quadruple expansion.
Yes.
So we have a second set of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. Okay, so this is the first Sankarshan we are talking about. The second Sankarshan is known as Mahasankarshan, and he expands to Vishnus, the Karnasha Vishnu, Mahavishnu, the Vadasha Vishnu, and Chudaksha Vishnu. Anyway, so this is that Sankarshan. Because that Sankarshan is Balaram, that it says here, Lord Chaitanya is Balaram. So after he left his body, he merged into the body of Lord Chaitanya. Okay? All right. Text 75. Baladev Prakash Param Vyome Sankarshan Teho Vishwer Upadan Nimitta Karan. The expansion of Baladev, known as Sankarshan in the spiritual world, is the ingredient and immediate cause of the material cosmic manifestation. So, as his expansion of Mahavishnu, he does all that. Okay. Text 76. ताहा बोई विश्व किछु नाही देखी आर अतएव विश्वरूप नाम जे तहार. The gigantic universal form is called the Vishwarup incarnation of Mahasankarshan. Thus, we do not find anything with this cosmic manifestation except the Lord himself. So this is the Virat Rup they're talking about. That's Krishna also. But it's an imaginary form. Okay. Text 77. Natat chitram bhagavati hi anante jagat ishware otam protam idam jasmin tantushva ang yathapataha. As the threads in a cloth spread both lengthwise and breadthwise. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead exists directly and indirectly within everything we see in this cosmic manifestation. It's not mostly wonderful. It's not very wonderful for him. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat abhyakt bhutanam. Everything in this world is me. Right? So same thing here. Everything's Krishna. 78. अतएव प्रभु तारे बोले बड़ो भाई कृष्ण बल राम दुई चैतन्य निताई. Translation. Because Mahasankarshan is the ingredient and efficient cause of cosmic manifestation. He is present in every detail of it. Lord Chaitanya therefore called him his elder brother. The true brothers are known as Krishna and Balram in the spiritual world, but at the present moment they are Chaitanya and Nitai. Therefore, the conclusion is that Nityananda Prabhu is the original Sankarshan Baladev. Anyway, the point being that both Vishwarup and Lord Nityananda, they are Balram, except Nityananda is Balram himself, and Vishwarup is an expansion of Balram. So they're both elder brother, but the difference is one is original, one is expansion. Okay? 79. पुत्र पाया दंपति होला आनंदित मन विशेष सेवन करे गोविंद चरण. The husband and wife Jagannath Mishra Mata, having gotten Vishwarup as their son, were very pleased within their minds. Because of their pleasure, they especially began to serve the lotus feet of Govinda. Okay, so let's see the purport. We'll stop after this. Mostly the purport.
I can read, Prabhu.
What can I do?
There is a common saying in India that everyone goes to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead when he is in distress. But when a person is in an opulent position, he forgets God. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.16, this is confirmed. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrito arjuna athartho jigyasu artharthi jnani cha bharata sava. If backed by pious activities in the past, four kinds of men, namely those who are distressed, those in need of money, those searching after knowledge, and those who are inquisitive, become interested in devotional service. The husband and wife, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, were very unhappy because their 8 daughters had passed away. Now, when they got Vishwarupa as their son, certainly they became extremely happy. They knew that it was by the grace of the Lord that they were endowed with such happiness and opulence. Therefore, instead of forgetting the Lord, they became more and more adherent in rendering service to the lotus feet of Govinda. When a common man becomes opulent, he forgets God. But the more opulent a devotee becomes by the grace of the Lord, the more he becomes attached to the service of the Lord.
Right. And that's the difference between a common man and a devotee. Common man worships to get something. When they get something, they forget Krishna. Devotee, when he gets something, he becomes even more obliged and grateful to Krishna. Because a devotee sees the hand of Krishna in everything. So they say, Laddu mila, to Krishna ka haath dikha. Thappad mila, to bhi Krishna ka haath dikha. So you get misery or happiness. You get poverty or opulence. You see Krishna's hand in that. So you always remain attached and conscious, attached to and conscious of Krishna. And that's the difference between devotee and non-devotee. Actually, there's another very famous doha. I think it's by Kabir. It says, "Sukh mein sumran sab kare." Sorry, "Dukh mein sumran sab kare, sukh mein
No,
kare
no.
koi, sukh mein sumran jo kare, dukh kahe ko ho." So it's saying that in misery, everybody remembers Krishna. But if you remember Krishna when you're happy and opulent, then you'll not have miseries. That's a materialistic view because Kabir was a materialistic uh, person. But the philosophy is still, in misery and in happiness, we should remember Krishna. Okay. So I'm going to stop here, see if there are any questions or comments. Going to get the view. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
I
Mohini.
have one question.
Sure.
So even for the advent of Lord Chaitanya, the holy name was there. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra was there. What exactly like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, although he freely distributed the holy name, did the holy name get more potent, or how it is significant there,
Okay.
like after the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
So he popularized, he explained what this mantra means. And he told people this is Maha Mantra and the value of it, talking about how it came from the Golok Vrindavan Dham, how the Lord has invested all his potencies into the holy name. Explained the meaning of this, explained the context of this, and he told people that in this age of Kali, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam, Nastyeva, 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 Gati. So all of these things existed before because this Hare Nam is from Nardiya Pancharatri. So they all existed, but people just didn't understand the value. And most people didn't even know. So he basically brought it forward, popularized it, explained the meaning of it, and emphasized the importance of chanting this all the time, Kirtaniya Sadahari, by emphasizing the non-difference nature of the holy name and the Lord himself. And that's basically how it became popular. He went town to town to town. He traveled for 6 years after leaving Navadvip. And wherever he went, he spread the holy name and gave this extra mantra freely to everybody. And that's how it became popular. So does that answer your question or did I miss your point?
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. That answers the question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, but remember, the name and the mantra, they're both eternal. And they both come from Golok Vrindavan Dham. It's just a matter of people finding out about them, finding out about the importance and the value of them and the benefit of them. And that's how it became popular. And understanding that the age of Kali, that is the recommended process, not Krite Dhyato Vishnu, performing meditation in the age of Satyuga, in Treta Yuga, performing fire sacrifices, in Dwapar, performing opulent devotee service, deity worship. All of them get you same result. As in Kali Yuga, you get from Hari Kirtan. So it's like Krito Dhayate Vishnu, Tretayam Yuga Mukhai, Dwapare Paricharyayam, Tatha Kalau Hari Kirtana. So all those three get the same benefit in the age of Kali by simply chanting the holy name of the Lord. So he's the one who popularized it. He's the one who explained it. And they said he's basically the one who brought it down. But that's symbolically speaking. It was there, people just didn't know about it. Okay, so when he was born, when he appears, I should say, people were chanting Hari, 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 or Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Like Krishna was also there already. They were saying Krishna also, but they were not chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They knew Krishna because he appeared 5,000 before them, 4,500 years before that. So they knew, but not in the same way. And they definitely did not know much about Radharani until Madhanapuri started talking about her. But again, Lord Chaitanya, who's the one who actually popularized the importance of Radharani.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Sure. Anybody else? Okay. And thank you. Vansha kalptarubhyascha kripasindubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
Vaishnavebhyo namo.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
so much.
Mother. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Shri
Mataji.
Teach you.
Jai.